Hello once again. It is probably Friday, May 15th, in the year 2020. This is Cord Cutting Today, or maybe it's Cord Cutting Weekly. I'm actually liking the sound of that more and more each week as I think about it. In any case, my name's still Philip Palermo, and thanks for tuning in. If you're new to this channel or you're new to this show, this is where we recap the week that was in cord cutting and streaming news. And for every story that we talk about, we'll have a link to that story linked down below in the video description, and that link will take you to our news website, cordcuttersnews.com. And if you are new to this channel, well, this is the part of the show where I say, please consider clicking the like and subscribe buttons down below somewhere. Both of those will help the channel out tremendously. And with that plea out of the way, let's get on to the news. And it looks like the first quarter of this year was a rough one for traditional cable and satellite providers. Analyst firm MoffettNathanson estimated that some 1.8 million customers dropped their cable or satellite service during the first 3 months of the year. In fact, the firm says that about 63% of occupied homes have traditional pay TV, marking a level not seen around here since the mid-90s. They also added there are now as many non-subscribing homes as there were pay TV subscribers back in the late 80s. And yes, the ongoing coronavirus pandemic likely factors in here, at least partially, with analysts citing a lack of live sports, as well as rising cable bills and fears of a coming recession as major factors. The firm also notes some companies are looking to offset those losses by signing customers up to other services, like Peacock through Comcast subsidiary NBC Universal or AT&T's various HBO offerings. In any case, if you opted to drop cable or satellite earlier this year, was it the rising bills? Better options elsewhere? Something else entirely? Let us know in the comments below. We're always curious how and why folks decide to cut the cord. And if you have cut the cord recently, well, welcome to the community. Speaking of upcoming streaming services, Peacock has announced a slate of original programming set to debut alongside the service when it launches on July 15th. They're calling them Peacock Originals, and they're aimed to complement the service's library of older favorites and daily shows. You can check out Tamara's full post on our site, cordcuttersnews.com, but the lineup includes a mix of drama, comedy, and more. One notable inclusion revives the Psych series for a full-length feature film starring James Roday and Dule Hill. It's called Psych 2 Lassie Come Home and debuts, like we said, on July 15th. Elsewhere, HBO also outlined what subscribers can expect shortly after HBO Max launches on May 27th. Rather than release all at once, this new listing includes content scheduled for release for the coming months, starting on June 18th with a game show called Karma and continuing throughout the summer. You can also expect Season 2 of Doom Patrol, which follows the adventures of some of DC Comics' most interesting characters. The lineup also includes a number of HBO originals, like a reimagined Perry Mason on June 21st, and I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which focuses on the investigation into the Golden State Killer of the 1970s and 80s. If you're on the fence so far about HBO Max, maybe take a look at the lineup linked down below in the video description, and let us know if you spot anything that makes you sway one way or the other. And while some streaming services are prepping for their initial launches, another is, shall we say, going through some growing pains. I'm talking, of course, about Quibi, the streaming service that's focusing on mobile devices and short-form, snackable content. Now, we're about a month or so into Quibi's launch, and the latest numbers don't seem terribly encouraging for the fledgling service. We've got more details, of course, in our full post, but the service is basically seeing 1.3 million active users at the moment, despite the app being downloaded some more than 3 million times. It should also be noted that the service launched with a generous trial period, but these latest numbers suggest that users have been leaving a bit early. And Quibi execs have added some colorful commentary to the story, with founder Jeffrey Katzenberg telling the New York Times he places all of Quibi's struggles squarely on the coronavirus pandemic, and apparently nothing else. Despite that comment, Quibi's clearly not standing still, and appears to be addressing some of the missteps it's had along the way, including more focused marketing and content casting abilities so you can watch Quibi shows on your TV if you wanted to. iOS users should see the feature enabled this week in the app, while Android users will get an update in the near future. It's also working to become more meme and social media friendly as a way to spread the word and get more exposure for the service and its shows. And if you've given it a shot so far, what do you think? Would the addition of content casting to your TV and better marketing raise awareness for the service's various shows? And would that help get you to check it out? As always, let us know in the comments below. In live TV streaming news, our very own Jess takes a look at YouTube TV and asks whether another price hike is imminent. If you'll recall, we recently reported that the live TV service made a deal with Viacom CBS to bring a number of channels, including Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, BET, and more, to the service. And I suppose it's only natural to wonder whether such an upgrade will bring with it a price hike of some sort. So Jess took a look at the service's recent history and how some upgrades have brought with them price increases. Longtime subscribers, and in the streaming wars, long time means like 3 or 4 years. But anyways, longtime subscribers might recall that YouTube TV launched in 2017 at just $35 a month. And over the years, more channels have brought higher prices, including a bump to $49.99 last year when YouTube TV added Discovery Network channels like HGTV, Food Network, and, Discovery. So, with Viacom CBS channels coming later this year, a price hike seems possible, maybe even likely. Of course, we're not quite sure how big that bump will be just yet, but we'll indeed let you know as soon as we hear anything. For now, though, if you are a YouTube TV user, how much is too much for the service? With competing services averaging around $55 a month, will YouTube TV continue to enjoy a slight price advantage? Time will tell. On the over-the-air front, broadcasting execs are starting to weigh in on the 2020 outlook for the ATSC 3.0 rollout and whether we'll hit the target of 40 markets this year. Pearl TV's Ann Shelley said the industry was in a good position coming out of CES back in January, but of course things have changed around the world a bit since then. Shelley was speaking as part of a virtual conference and said that COVID-19 has likely delayed plans by about a quarter compared to where the industry should have been at this point. And a lot of that stems from work and travel restrictions simply preventing a lot of the installation, testing, and rollout of equipment needed to flip that next-gen TV switch. Still, ATSC 3.0 is coming online in a few markets. Sinclair, in fact, should have its first station go live in Las Vegas later this month, and stations in LA, Pittsburgh, and East Lansing, Michigan are all currently FCC approved and prepping for their own launches. Right now, there are 6 ATSC 3.0 markets up and running across the US, and we're starting to see more compatible TVs and external tuners starting to hit the virtual store shelves. Of course, ATSC 3.0 remains a developing story, so we'll definitely keep a close eye on its progress throughout the year and beyond. And we end today with Amazon, which made a couple of announcements this week, actually. We'll start on the software side, where the company added more free content options for its Fire TV customers. In fact, starting this week, Fire TV users should see a new tab on their navigation bars labeled, appropriately enough, free. Under this tab, you'll find free streaming apps, curated content, and some 20,000 TV episodes and movies. You'll also find music, apps, and games in this section, and yes, the common theme for all of those options is that they're free. If you are a Fire TV user and you've seen the free tab on your devices, let us know what you think. Does it make finding that free content easier? Has it helped you discover something new? Let us know in the comments below. And on the hardware front, Amazon's also announced updated versions of its Fire HD tablet line. Now, these are not massive revolutionary upgrades to the 2018 era Fire HD 8, but there are some nice improvements in there. We've got a faster processor, more RAM, better battery life, and more built-in storage this time around. So instead of the 16 and 32 gigabyte variants of the 2018 models, these new tablets boast 32 and 64 gigabytes depending on which one you opt for. Starting price for the standard 8 is $89.99, and there's a Plus version that adds a bit more RAM and wireless charging, and that one comes in starting at $109.99. And finally, there's a kid-friendly version with a better warranty and a more durable case for $139.99. They're all up for pre-order right now, actually, and should ship in early June, June 3rd to be exact. And that brings us to the weekend here at Cord Cutters News. Real quick, if you're curious about the TiVo Stream 4K, then maybe stay tuned for our full review on our site, cordcuttersnews.com, later today. And we'll also have a video review of the Stream 4K live later today as well. It's a busy time in the world of cord cutting and streaming. For now, though, as always, if you want to support the channel, one of the best ways you can do that is by clicking the like and subscribe buttons, perhaps even that bell icon, which notifies you whenever we upload new content to this channel, like later today, hint, hint. In the meantime, wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend. My name, as always, is Philip Palermo. Thanks for watching. Take care.